Hi guys, Kai here and welcome back. Today we are going to be taking a look at some of the Ultimate Champions transfers. Some of the players have already made a move, some have been released, and then we'll also have a quick look at one or two who have a few question marks over their head to see whether they are going to be going or not. But as you can see on the screen right now, the first one, probably one of the big ones so far. He was one of the better players throughout the season just gone for Toulouse and of course throughout Ultimate Champions. One of the favourite players to have in midfield for quite a few managers. But he has now gone. He's gone to Ajax in the Netherlands. So a lot of the Ultimate Champions managers who hold his card are obviously very unhappy with this one. They're hoping, of course, that they can get some coverage of the Eredivisie, or however you pronounce the Netherlands league, just so they can get coverage again of Van der Boomen. 27 years old still, so still a chance that obviously he can be used in the future. He may make a move elsewhere after a year or two, or as I mentioned as well, Ultimate Champions may get coverage of the league in the future. But I know there's quite a few people unhappy. There's quite a few players which have made the move already as well and lost their coverage, so there's quite a few to keep an eye on going through the rest of the summer. Next up is Christian Negut. He previously played for Chindia, as you can see on the left there, but since then and getting relegated of course, so Chindia will no longer be covered by Ultimate Champions going into the 23-24 season. He has left them and he's joined Hermannstad. Now, as you know, if you've been following any of my social media, I do like the Hermannstad stacks that I've been using throughout last season. So this is going to be a good addition for them. He primarily plays on the left side of midfield, can play on the right, can play up front as well. 27 years old, I believe he is. So even though he was in a struggling Chindia side, he actually didn't do too bad, especially when he scored a goal or two through the season. So I think this is going to be a good addition for Hermannstad, and hopefully it can help them stay up next season and push towards the top half of the table. But one to look out for, and as I said, 27 years old, so he's got quite a few years on him, especially with him being in the Romanian league. So if you haven't got him already, then maybe one to pick up for the coming season. Irish centre forward David McGoldrick is the next one up for our transfer updates. Now, he was playing at Derby County last season and helped them do okay. He did score a bunch of goals as well throughout the year, so he's probably one of Derby's better players. I think he scored over 20 league goals. I would have to double check on that, but I'm sure it was 21, 22 goals he scored last season in League One. So now that Notts County have been promoted into the Football League, that is the team where he's heading. So it's a step down in league for him, but he is 35 years old. So I think if he can score 22 goals for Derby in League One, then just think how many goals he's going to score next season for Notts County. So a good card to have. I believe there's not many cards on Ultimate Champions for David McGoldrick. I think there's only one mythic in total, and then a few epic cards. So if you can grab one between now and the start of the season, especially for cheap, then I would advise doing so. And obviously with the low amount of these cards currently, it's going to be a good differential to have, especially for any EFL tournaments in the coming season. But there we have it, David McGoldrick for Notts County. Another big player for Ultimate Champions throughout the last season. He was the Le Havre captain as well, helping them get promoted into Ligue 1. It is Victor Lekhal, 29 years old. But unfortunately, he's going to be uncovered going into the new season. He has just made a transfer, free transfer at that, leaving Le Havre and going to Qatar to join Salal SC is the team. Personally, never heard of them, and I'm sure he's got a nice wage packet going over there. So a bit of a shame to lose him for Ultimate Champions. As I said, he's been one of the better midfielders, just like Van der Boomen, over the last 12 months. So a big blow there for any of the holders. Personally, I did bring in his mythic card this week. I did a trade for a Perry NG. I just brought him in basically for the hope that he could get covered again in the future. Being 29 years old, there is always a chance that he could have come back to European football and maybe go back to Le Havre. You never know once they've been relegated next season. Or are they going to stay up? We'll have to wait and see. Well, there we go. That is Le Havre. Letting go of Victor Lekhal, and he's gone to Qatar. Right, back to the EFL leagues, and next up is Robert Dickey, 27-year-old centre-back. Was playing for QPR, had an okay season, but of course QPR started the season well, then after the World Cup it just crumbled, didn't it, for Queen's Park Rangers, unfortunately. But still, with Robert Dickey, his stats, as I said, weren't too bad. On his day, he could score in the over the 120, so he's always getting like the green averages. So I think this will be a good transfer for Bristol City. I believe they are also bringing in a couple of other players. But right now, I think Robert Dickey is the only one on Ultimate Champions who's going to Bristol City. So again, it will be a nice card to have. I do own his Epic card myself. I would try and get his Mythic card if I can. But yeah, if you haven't got him, maybe take a look at him to pick up through the summer. A centre-back, as I said, for Bristol City now. I think it was a free transfer. I'm not entirely sure whether he was paid for or not. But we'll see how he gets on. But I think this could be a good card to have in the coming season. Remaining in the Championship, and now a big one. Well, I think it's going to be a big one anyway. It is Kevin Nisbet, formerly of Hibernian. Makes the move down below the border and goes all the way to the capital to join Millwall. I think just over €2 million was spent to bring in Nisbet here for Millwall. We know that he can score goals. He's been doing it in Scotland. I think he's 26 years old. A good card to have on Ultimate Champions as well, especially because we are very, very limited to the amounts that we've been distributed. I think, let me have a quick look. We have 6 Kevin Nisbet cards on Ultimate Champions. So I could see the value of these if they do go on the market. Could go up. Just having a look right now, there's currently one listed at $62. So I think this could be picked up for that before the start of the season, if I'm totally honest. I think he will do well. Millwall had a fairly decent season as well last year. So this will be a good addition for those, no doubt. And if you haven't already got his card, then maybe go ahead and check it out. Because if I could get it, it's one which I would add to my collection. So there we go. Kevin Nisbet, the Scottish forward, heads from Hibernian to Millwall. Let's head over to Romania then for the next one, and as you can see on the screen, it is Mihai Popper, goalkeeper from Voluntari. Well, he was from Voluntari. He has now made the move over to Italy, and he's joined up with Torino. A great move for him, I feel, but this is the first one which I'm really sad about, to be honest. He's 22 years old, and I think, going on the dates, he is going to be classed as under 23 for the next 2 seasons. But unfortunately, as Ultimate Champions currently do not have coverage of the Italian League, this is another player which we are going to be losing, which is a big shame. He had a great season. He fell off a little bit towards the end, but so did Voluntari, just because of the league split. But throughout the year, he was one of the better keepers, especially for the under-23s competitions throughout Ultimate Champions. So as I said, a big blow. It is a card which I currently own as well. I have his Epic card in my collection, but with him being only 22, I have no intention of letting him go. Hopefully we do get some Italian coverage, or he makes a move in the future. Still plenty of years in him, but as I said, one we are disappointed to be losing for sure. Now this next one caught me off guard a little bit this week. It's one from Latvia. As you know, we do have coverage of the Latvian League now, full coverage in fact of the Latvian League as of this summer. And this one from Supernova, one of probably the weakest sides in Latvia currently, but this is one of their better players. He is one of the older players as well in that Supernova side, or at least he was. Dennis Rakels, he's just left the club. I don't know if he's making a move elsewhere, but currently as things stand, he is currently unattached, so he is a free agent. and we'll see if he goes anywhere over the next few weeks. But if you do own his card, currently you're not going to be earning any points, which is a big shame. I do also own his epic card, not that I use him that much, but as I said, he was one of their better players and he could score on his day, but unfortunately for now he is one which we have lost. Johnson Clark Harris we've got up next, and as you can see, he has been surprisingly transfer listed by Peterborough. A big surprise to everybody, to be honest, especially all the Ultimate Champions community. He was one of the better forwards for the EFL, or throughout Ultimate Champions all the way through the last season, if I'm totally honest. He got 26 league goals for his side. He was the Peterborough captain as well. So big blow. Maybe he just wants that little step up. He's 28 years old. So maybe he wants to go into the championship for the final couple of seasons of his career, possibly, or just wants to change completely. I don't really know the full details of why he's been transfer listed, but I'm kind of feeling that he wants a new fresh start somewhere else. So we'll keep an eye on where he goes. I'm not sure there's been any rumours of where he could possibly go as of right now, but one to keep an eye out for. And obviously, he will be a good card to have no matter where he goes, because he's a goal machine, isn't he? And he's only 28 years old. So I'll be looking out for him. I do own his epic card as well. Don't own his mythic, unfortunately. But as I said, if you haven't got him, maybe keep an eye out for him and see where he goes. I will be tracking his transfer rumours and maybe doing another update video when he does make that move. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that. Johnson Clark Harris on his way out of Peterborough. This one is not so much of a surprise, is it really? Kieran Tierney, been linked with a move away from Arsenal for the last few months. Newcastle, I think, are the most likely linked with him. So we'll see if he goes up north. Obviously, they will be looking to improve their squad. Arsenal, he's gone out of favour, really, hasn't he, Arsenal? So with Zinchenko coming in and maybe Cancelo, a couple of others being linked with Arsenal for the right back and left back positions. Ben White most probably being pushed into the middle as well, with Kiora in the middle as well for Arsenal. The options are becoming pretty vast for Arsenal at the back. So is Kieran Tierney going to get pushed out? Newcastle United, Celtic, possibly even Aston Villa now that they're in the Europa League. Are they in the Europa League or Conference League? I forget with Aston Villa, but they are in European competition, I know that much. Maybe even some other clubs, I'm not really sure, but those are the three main ones I think which Kieran Tierney being linked with. As for Ultimate Champions, obviously he hasn't been scoring that great because he hasn't been playing that many minutes for Arsenal. Decent player to have, can score, can assist when he's in his form. And I do own his card as well, I believe. I'm always trying to get those Arsenal players regardless. So will you be looking out for this one? Maybe, maybe not. And we're going to end with one final card today, and that is Arnold Garita, forward for Arges, or Arges, however you want to pronounce their name. Relegated as well, of course, from the Romanian Super League, so he won't be covered next season as things stand. But there has been rumours that he is on his way out. And the two teams, actually, two decent teams. So this could be a good player to pick up if you don't already own him. CFR Cluj, one of my teams in Romania, and FCSB also. I believe they are the two teams linked with Garita. He's only 27 years old, so still fairly young, being in Romania. He has goals in him, and he didn't do too bad, to be honest, in a struggling RG's team. And plays centre forward. I don't think he goes on the wings at all. So if you want a centre forward for next season in the Romania League, then maybe keep an eye out on Garita. See if he does make that move. Obviously, again, as I mentioned in the other ones, I will keep an eye out on this one personally, and I will update in any future videos. He had a pretty decent end to the season, so you never know. He may carry that form into the next one. He's a little bit on and off throughout the season, but if he's in a decent side, such as Cluj or FCSB, then you never know. He could be banging goals in all through the year. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. They are the confirmed, some of the rumours, on the transfer updates so far this season. With the window officially being open now in England, I'm sure there's going to be many more comings and goings throughout the summer, especially with a bunch of rumours too. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get some information and maybe get some transfer action as well on that Ultimate Champions marketplace for the next few weeks. But I'm going to leave it there. Leave a like, guys, if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.